You were talking about Saints Row.
Yeah, yeah. Have one more thing left to do in Saints Row um, to get 100%. I need to max out all the weapons. I have one weapon left. Um, it's been a lot of fun, I'm thinking of after this one moving on to what is it? I can see it in my head.
Grand
It's
Theft Auto.
no, darn it! They just Mankind Divided just came out. Deus Ex, not that one. The previous
Human
one.
Revolution.
Human Revolution. That's what it was. So yeah, I have that one. I'm ready to go on it.
If it sounds like there's a fan in the background, there is, and I don't care.
I can't hear anything at the moment.
It
So.
messes up my audio a little bit. I can edit it out, but it's hot in here, and I can't turn on the air conditioning because the cat's body temperature has to stay up at a certain point, and I don't care. I want the fan on.
Gotcha. Well, let's move on to our video game segment. We have a lot of video games to go through. There's a ton that are coming out this week. Not so many from last week, but we got a lot coming out this week. So let's go right into it. So we'll start out with let's see if you got it. Origami. Origami is coming out. Has already come out. It came out on October 4th for PS4 and PC. It's actually looks kind of interesting. It's a stealth-based game. You sneak around as.
I kind of dig the art style. It doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, the art style is interesting. You have various shadow-based powers, and you are basically a ninja. You can teleport through shadows. You can go into shadows and become invisible. You can use the shadows to attack people. And evidently, the play style has multiple pathways that you can take, where you can actually either just slaughter everybody in your path or sneak past everybody. So I don't know.
I love me some stealth games, and if there was one genre I've played too much of, it's like strategy and stealth. And I've played a lot of the Splinter Cell and stuff, and this actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm digging it. I beat them old Tenchu games on the PlayStation. That's how much stealth games I've played, and those are hard. You got to get those stupid. I remember you would get those little rice balls to distract people, and then they would eat them. And
right. But so Origami, it looks really, really arty, but that's not a drawback in this situation. It's actually really appealing. The artwork.
Sometimes because it looks a little bit like they were tilting towards the what do you call it? Cell shading sort of thing.
Cell shading,
but they didn't embrace it fully, which is fascinating. They sort of went for that slight degree of cell shading effect, but they didn't go the whole way, so you're not overwhelmed with this we're really trying to be artsy feel.
Right.
You sort of get this feel of it works in the environment, and it's not. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not 100% one side or the other. It almost feels like the assassin himself doesn't quite fit in with the world the way shadow and light sort of plays off his character compared to everybody else.
Kind of, and that could be a reflection of the fact that you're dead, if I remember right from the story.
So in the story, you're just a dead guy.
Yeah, you're dead, and you were brought back to save somebody from the forces of light. Which, granted, people don't usually have to save people from the forces of light, but, every once in a while it happens. So let's move on. The next one is called Atari Flashback Classics. You're getting Volume 1 and Volume 2. They're both coming.
Atari Flashback Classics. I have Atlas Reactor.
Huh. Anyway.
Is it in the other trailers folder?
Oh, no. Sorry. This one, the Atari Flashbacks Classics, I couldn't find a video for it.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm going to switch back to our faces and just we'll talk
Yeah.
about this interesting game after we.
Yeah. So we've got and these are classics. I played a lot of these, like Adventure, Asteroids. Let's see, Breakout. I'm trying to see here. Haunted. Nope. Missile Command. A lot of these are some that I used to play, and that first one, that's the Atari Classics, Atari Flashbacks Classics Volume 1, and then on Volume 2, let's see what we've got here. Some of the ones that we've got here are Air Sea Battle, Bowling, Canyon Bomber, Centipede, Combat. I remember Combat. I used to have.
Everybody played Combat. You know,
Yeah.
everybody talk about the best games on the Atari. They probably bring up games besides Combat, but Combat was always the game you stuck in first to play with your friend, just so you could play
Yep.
as a tank or an airplane and kill each other.
Yep. Star Raiders. I remember that one.
When you talk about like the best Atari games, it's usually like, I don't know, Centipede or Asteroids or.
And they also have Yar's Revenge. I remember that one. So I mean, there are a lot that are coming out in these classic packs. And so if you used to play the Atari games, or if you're even interested in the Atari games, they have some amazing ones that are amazing games that are coming out for these in these packages. So.
It's hard to tell whether or not, because a lot of the time those are marketed for nostalgia's sake,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of the other times it's like sometimes the graphics are so off that they're impenetrable for newer generations, and sometimes
Yeah.
the graphics are sort of have their own charm in their own old way.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the time those get sold to nostalgic 30-somethings who really want to play these old games.
Yeah. To move on, and so those ones are coming out on Xbox One and PS4 if you're interested in those. And like I said, for those of us who played these when we were kids, or if you're just interested in retro gaming, you're gonna enjoy these ones. They have a lot of good games coming out on these ones. Okay, the next one is called Atlas Reactor, and this is a
Pretty game.
pretty game. Yes, it is. It's going back to the visually appealing. I'm not.
Got a bit of an Overwatch Battleborn feel to it.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is that it's a strategic, real-time battle.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Basically, you pick your character, and then you have a battle among multiple players. But all of the combat and stuff gets resolved in real time. So you queue up your actions, and then
Almost like a card game.
yeah,
You queue up your actions and then you see how they play out.
yep, and so it can be quite interesting because it'll be like
Gosh, look at all the money they spent on this trailer.
yeah, you can totally miss somebody because you'll be targeting where you think they're going to be, and they won't be there when you end up firing. So there's quite a bit that you can do in this game that I think this will be interesting because, like I said, it's got an aspect of the colorful characters. It's got the strategy in the game, but at the same time, it also has this real time feel because it's not like I go, you go, I go, you go. We don't take turns. It's we queue up our actions, we hit go, and then we see the actions resolve. At once.
I don't know how well this was going to play out, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it plays.
I'm curious as well. This isn't really my genre, but I'm intrigued by the concept. I don't know how, like you said, I don't know how well this is gonna work, and I just looking at it and just talking it through the concepts and stuff, I can totally see people just being turned off by this. But at the same time,
sounds
it's
a
like
little complex and convoluted. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that in practice it actually plays out fairly well.
Yeah.
And they spent a lot of money on this trailer, so I wouldn't be surprised if they thought out the game to some degree.
Yeah. Anyway, to move on, Rocksmith 2014 edition has been remastered. It's coming out for Xbox One and PS4. Evidently, this is the fastest way to learn to play the guitar.
Yeah, this has been out in the past. It sort of plays out almost like Guitar Hero, but it actually wants
with
you to
an
plug in
actual guitar.
Actual guitar.
Yeah.
And it follows the actual strings as opposed to that's actually what they should have done with Guitar Hero in the beginning.
True.
Taught people to play guitar. The thing is, guitars in their own way are a little bit harder to penetrate than color buttons.
Right. The thing is that this is intriguing, and I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar, but the expense,
much like martial arts, everybody wants to do it, but it takes time and effort.
Yeah, and the expense to find a teacher to play guitar, to learn to play guitar.
I mean, there's enough YouTube videos out there that you could theoretically fight your way through little like explanations, but
But at the same time, I'm sitting here looking at this, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll learn how to play these different songs." But at the same time, am I really going to learn how to play the guitar? Because I don't think I'll be able to read music after this. I don't know that I'll be able to
pick
just
it up
pick
and go like G, F, whatever. But you could probably just remember the finger movements.
Right. So I mean, it's interesting. It's to say the least, but you know, who knows? To move on, we have Shu. Shu is coming out for PS4 and PC. Come on, load up. There it goes.
2D cartoony character on a 3D, well, not 3D, 2.5D background.
Yeah, I'm trying to. For some reason, it's taking a long time to load.
Platformer.
Oh, no, never mind.
With partners.
Their website isn't loading at all, so
that's fine. You seem to be running away from a great smoke monster. You get teammates. I assume that they have different powers. You can switch between them.
Yeah, it's
interesting graphic style.
It's they're not teammates. It's more like they're your train. They follow you. You collect them as you go through the level, and you take them from point A to point B, and you have to figure out these puzzles to get them.
Like you're trying to save them or something.
You're trying to save them. Yeah.
Gosh, it reminds me of another game for PS3 that was really fun. It'll come to me eventually.
Anyway, that's Shu. I can't really tell you more about it. Their website did not load, and all I could see was the trailer. That's all I could find.
It's meant to be sort of a platformer that you travel through quickly, it seems like.
Yeah.
Almost like a Sonic, just not the breakneck speeds. It looks... I like the art style. I'm not entirely sure how the art style gels with me at the environments. But it's pretty enough that it's worth a look if you're interested in this sort of thing.
Yeah. So to move on... Warhammer: The End Times Vermintide. We have talked about this before. We actually did
don't have a trailer, so switching back to the other.
Yeah, I thought I put one on there. You still there?
So for console, right?
Yeah. So Vermintide's been out for a while. It's really fun. It is a lot like Left 4 Dead. In fact, they said that Left 4 Dead was one of their inspirations for creating this game, but it's now going to be coming out for Xbox One and PS4, or actually it did on the 4th. So if you were at all intrigued by this game, about us talking to the developer, you just didn't want it on PC or whatever, go out and get it for Xbox One or PS4. You will not regret it. It is a very, very fun game.
It is a lot of fun. I didn't see a lot of fanfare when it came out.
No, it was kind of quiet when it came out.
That's unfortunate because it's great. I want them to succeed.
They
were really good, friendly guys, really neat developer that were willing to chat with us and stuff. But I actually quite enjoyed the game, and you kind of hope these games sort of sell like hotcakes, just so that they
So it encourages
have
the
potential
studio.
for the future.
Yeah.
And
So the next one we've talked again. This is another one we've talked about. It's Wheels of Aurelia. We have talked about this one before. We've even showed the trailer and stuff. It's a text typing adventure car game.
See. I don't have Wheels of Aurelia, but
I may not have put that in there
no,
because
that's fine.
we've already
We'll just keep
talked
going.
about it before.
I'm just looking
Yeah.
for something I can't see.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Anyway, it's now coming out for Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U. So it was previously released for PC, and now it's making its way onto other consoles. The next one you may not have. I'm not sure if I put a trailer for this one. I thought I did. Slain Back from Hell.
Yeah.
That one's on
Apparently,
there. Okay.
I did have Wheels of Aurelia and did show it.
Oh, never mind.
We're
Anyway,
on to Slain. There's no
Yeah.
moving back. This is a train. You can't back up.
exactly. Now this is another one. We have talked about this one before as well. This one came out before. People hated it. They retooled it, and now it's called Slain Back from Hell. And evidently, it is a great game now.
Yeah, I've heard people still complain about it, but it looks fun.
Yeah. The thing is that it is now available on Xbox One. So that one was available as of October 5th.
I believe they
on
added like a
Xbox-
counter system
Xbox
or a
One.
parry system or something like that with the newer
Something.
version.
But yeah,
Powers
I mean,
and what
it
have you.
reminds me a lot of the Castlevania games.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe even a little more dynamic than the Castlevania games. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it totally looks worth the effort to get into this game. It looks a lot like it would be a lot of fun, and really kind of taking you back to retro games and stuff. So to move on, we have Syndrome.
Gotcha.
This one, it took me a while to find because, you type in Syndrome and it doesn't immediately pull up the...
Some guy with a
Yeah,
psychological issue.
exactly. So it's a sci-fi themed survival horror game. You're inside of a drifting spaceship. You wake up and you're confused because you've been in cryosleep. You look around and you seem to be the only one alive. You're now adrift, and whatever killed your crewmates is still in the ship. So it has, it tries to be a psychological claustrophobic feel because it's all encased in this ship that's drifting in space, and at the same time, it's a lot like a post-apocalyptic game because you have limited ammo for the weapons you can find on the ship. So you have to be stealthy. You have to be at the same time you have to be careful with your ammo. Otherwise, you're gonna run out and you're just not going to be able to survive. So
Space is always such a great tool for horror. You get that claustrophobic. There's nowhere to run because you can't go out the space lock. Almost in a very similar way to being underwater.
Right. There's really not much you can do at that point. It's like you can't just run for the hills. There are no hills.
Essentially, yeah.
Now to move on, these ones came out on October 6th, and they were both for PC. The next one is called Be Glitched. It's a puzzler, and it's a game about, as it says, insecurity and in computers and ourselves. I don't know what they're trying to go for with this. You're in a pastel world. Nobody knows what they're doing. Hacking is a magical art. And the notorious Glitch Witch is the premium arch-magi of the net.
Is this
It should be Archmagus, but...
Nintendo DS or...
No,
VR
this
or
one...
something?
This one is a PC game,
Oh,
but it
almost looks
seems
like a DS game.
it seems more of a mobile game. Yeah, but you're required to solve puzzles and hack, um, and whatever. I don't know. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. However, there's a lot of jargon and stuff that only hackers get, and so it's kind of an in-joke game. So I don't know how accessible this will be to people who are, they're just not going to get the jokes. They may get the game, they may think the game is fun, but the humor probably will just go over their heads. But it looks like it could be an interesting game.
Yep.
To move on, Mafia 3 came out on October 7th.
Everybody was quite a few people were psyched about this.
Yeah, and the thing is, the story looks really interesting. You play as a black man in the post-World War II South, Louisiana, if I remember right. And you have a family that are other criminals and things, and you get involved with the white mafia,
Almost
who
feels
then
like a Godfather story in the South.
right, yeah.
Like he comes back from the war and then he gets involved and.
Mm-hmm. Well, he gets double crossed and left for dead. But he recovers, and then he sets out to exact his revenge on the people that killed his friends and left him for dead. It is an incredibly gory game. They really went all out on the gore here. But like I said, it does look like it could be an interesting game. The story is deep. I wonder how the characterization is, but like I said, it is an action game, but hopefully they did right by the story. You know what I mean?
I've never played any of the Mafia games, and I've heard really good things about them, and people who have played them are really into them. The only thing I can say about this one that I've actually heard is a lot of people were excited, but the word on the street since it's come out is it's as glitchy as all get out. And that's unfortunate because even if it's a good game and even if they fix the glitches, it'll always carry that sort of stigma from the beginning.
Yeah.
Whenever a game sort of comes out with glitches and issues, that's what it gets remembered for, not the product
not that they fixed it
fixed down the road and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. So to move on, we have so Mafia 3, just to go back real quick, Xbox One, PS4, PC. October 7th is when it came out. Paper Mario Color Splash came out for Wii U, and it's another Paper Mario game.
They're good
Paper
games.
Mario has a legacy of being great.
Oh yeah, I've played through the one on the Wii.
So the way that it works now is the story, I should say, is that you're on Prism Island, and color is starting to disappear. And you are helping Princess Peach to find out where all the colors are going. You have toads that can help you. The Shy Guys and Slurp Guys are the bad guys. They're the ones stealing the paint, but possibly they're doing it on behalf of Bowser. And evidently you return the paint to people with a mallet. So
they usually have to have some sort of gameplay gimmick that makes it fun.
And
it's cool
it does
looking.
look intriguing.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Gotta love the paper aesthetic. They've gotten really good at making that sort of simplistic look feel really good. Like the Yoshi Woolly World and the like they genuinely look like they're made of yarn.
Right.
But anyway, this generally looks like it's paper.
Yeah. And some of the game mechanics are very much in the lines of you use scissors to cut out parts of the scenery. You have when you get hit by fire, you catch on fire because you're made out of paper.
Makes sense.
Or you can get wrinkled. So yeah, I mean the Paper Mario games have been well received, and hopefully this one is another good one that came out of it. Mario games have a legacy once again of being really good games. So to move on, we have the Silver Case. This one came out on PC, and this one is if I recall correctly, it is a mystery game. It came out before, but it's now been remastered for PC. And I'm trying to where'd it go? Here we go. So the story is this is kind of it looks kind of like a Japanimation. You're on your way home.
This is a short trailer.
Yeah. You see the silhouette of a man in your headlight. He has a severed head in his hand, and in his left hand a gun. In his right, he shoots and runs. You make contact with the security forces. Yeah, I mean, it's just really weird.
Those I don't know, motion stories. What do they call them?
Yeah.
Japan likes their horror.
Yeah, and this is definitely a wrong link. A mystery type game. So if you like those type of games, go for that one. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised.
Look up the trailer. I don't think any description we're going to give is going to do this game justice.
Yeah, it's just Anyway, to move on, WRC 6 came out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. What is it? WRC. What does that stand for now?
World Rally Championships is what.
Thank you. Because it's
it
rally
looks like
racing.
a rally racing. Yeah.
It's a rally racing game.
Dirt races and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about rally races. They have off-road sections. They have on-road sections, and they really have in my mind, a rally race is much more entertaining than, say, watching cars drive around an oval track 500 times.
Right.
So,
it looks cool, like a racing game.
Yeah,
different environments: snow, dirt, road, I guess.
And I have to say, I have so when I was in Italy, F1 racing is much bigger than I thought it was over there.
Oh yeah, it's huge over there.
Yeah, and so I watched a couple of F1 races just because, and discussed it with people because the cars look cool and everything, and they're going really fast. I got to see Michael Schumacher race and his brother Ralph, and his brother Ralph. The thing is everybody talks about Michael Schumacher. I think Ralph Schumacher, just kind of gets pushed aside because of his brother. But Ralph Schumacher is an awesome driver. I watched him drive a lap on 3 tires.
Jeez.
Yeah, because he was too far away when his tire blew to go into the pit. He had to go all the way around the track and didn't hit anything. Got in, got his tire changed, got back out. And I'm like, man, I would have been like into the wall, bounced off some other car. Anyway, once again, F1 racing, I like the cars, just